Can we intentionally delay fasting to make it up later? No, it's haram. On the day of Ramadan, in the verse I just said, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ مِنْكُمُ الشَّهْرَ, whoever among you witnesses the month, that is, the month of Ramadan. If he sees the month of Ramadan, if he witnesses it, فَلْيَصُمْهُ, he must fast it. This verse indicates that in Ramadan, without a valid excuse, such as illness, being a passenger, without a valid excuse, delaying fasting to make it up later is prohibited. Because it says, whoever reaches Ramadan must fast. So according to this verse, this is the view of all schools of thoughts. No school of thought gives a ruling permitting this. None of them. In all schools of thought, during the days of Ramadan, if there is no state of travel, if there is no illness, if there is no condition like fainting, deliberately delaying the fast to make it up later is forbidden according to all schools of thought. That's how all scholars of the schools of thought understood this verse. Because the verse is clear, so whoever sees that month, if he witnesses the month, must fast it, that's it. Postponing the fast to make it up later is not permissible. Also, deliberately postponing the prayer is also not permissible. Not only fasting. Zakat is actually like that. It should be given on time, but if you haven't given it, you can give it later. Normally, it should be given on time. Even if he makes up his fast later. It's not like fasting on time. By accident, for example, if he delays the prayer to make it up later, and he makes it up later, is it as if you prayed on time? It is not possible. Same with fasting. However, it would be considered fulfilled once it is made up. Once he makes up for it later, the obligation is lifted from him. But he committed haram because he ate on the day of Ramadan, number one. And even though he makes up for it later, he is deprived of the reward. Number two, but he gets rid of his debt. That's all. He will be deprived of its reward. And at the same time, well, he cannot benefit from the other wisdoms of Ramadan. When fasting with everyone, people benefit more. He joins all Muslims. As a member of the entire Ummah of Muhammad, he is also fasting with them, feasting with them. This is a separate vitamin. This is a different beauty. He will be deprived of that too. For example, if you start your fast on the day of Ramadan, if he starts fasting and then eats deliberately, that needs compensation. 60 days and the fast itself makes 61 days. But after Ramadan, for example, if he makes up for it, if he eats while making up for his fast, if he breaks his fast, no compensation is required. So in respect of Ramadan, there is compensation. There is compensation for disrespecting Ramadan. So is the reward. Just as breaking the fast in Ramadan requires compensation, it is a sin. In the same way, when they fast, it is a reward. If after Ramadan he makes up fasting for one day and he breaks it, no compensation is required. So is the reward. So in Ramadan, if breaking the fast is a sin, then the reward is correspondingly high.